guys, welcome to this weekend's edition, the Valentine's edition, of course. Yeah, nini ya best of bets. And today with me, of course, ni Sarayan kusaidia analyze the games za hii weekend zetu tumekutayarishia. We have 20 games for you this weekend. 10 za Sunday, 10 za Saturday. Leo, that is Leo. But before we get into more details, Ryan, salimia watu.
Oh yes, niaje my boss. This is the best of bets where we make you a boss. As Shiko has said, it's a Valentine edition. Wanatuanza kupiga red. Though Valentine tuko occupied vibaya sana. Tuko na El Clasico, tuko na Man City, Arsenal, tuko na Bayern, PSG. Iko pesa wase. So this is the best of bets where we make you the bosses.
And of course, I'm your host Wanjiko Willy. So tuingie kwa game sasa.
Atujangalia. But remember last weekend, especially the Sunday games, to hit 9 out of 10. You can go back to the video, check hapo hivyo Tottenham and City, niwaambia Tottenham win under 2.5, no goal per og, no pate mpaka correct score manze. 0-0 per og versus Olympiacos 0-0 correct score under, kila kitu iko sawa. So follow for more. Remember to catch us through easy games that this weekend na pia za kesho na za leo. Iko pesa. This is the best of bets. We make you the boss.
And of course, I think by now nini tume-untrust yenyu, tumeonyesha nini, at least tuko reliable. Bets zetu so far zime nini, hatujachoma sana. And of course, tumekusaidia ukawin kidogo. Hii Valentine's edition, tunakusaidia ukwe boss, peleka mama out, nuleka flower.
Nyonga mwili, tutaka pesa kupeleka mama out.
At least change diet, kula scuba daily anyway. Tuingesa games za hii weekend.
Yeah.
Games za leo. The first one tuko na West Ham versus Chelsea.
Wow. That's a derby, London derby. So easy rahisi. Derby na early kickoff. Those are two things that are very tricky, especially in the EPL. When it's a kickoff and when it's a derby. So looking at both teams, you look at Chelsea and West Ham. West Ham are currently at number 17. There is so much pressure for David Moyes. Remember, wako na pressure relegation. Hawajatoka poa sana pale kwa relegation, so they are fighting out kutoka hapo kwa hiyo zone. And then we have Chelsea who have 30 points at position 9. Also, with a spending of 300 million plus, they don't belong in that position. However, things have not been that good for them. Remember, when we win just one of their last 6 games. West Ham on the other side have won 3 of their last 6 games, so wamekuwa on a very good run. And remember their last game, especially their last game, they drew at St. James Park, a stadium whereby Newcastle has been shining against all other teams. Remember, Newcastle are very on form. So that West Ham draw, I think is a very good motivation for them heading into this match. And their form that they have not lost in their last 6 games, pia inawapatia motivation. And remember, pia wako home. So it's a very tricky game. When you look at the way they have played head-to-head, in their last 9 early kickoffs, West Ham have just managed 2 wins. But a key point to note is that one of those 2 wins is against Chelsea. That is in the December of 2021. So we look at both this game, and I'm sorry for Chelsea fans, but our prediction is a 1x. 1 will draw.
Okay, on to our second game here, Leicester City versus Tottenham. Inachezwa leo at 6. And I can see Tottenham are 5th in the table, na Leicester wako number 14.
Leicester walikuwa pabaya sana. Actually, they were in the relegation zone. They had 2 wins in the last games. From the previous games, they were pushed wakapanda kiasi on the top of the table because walikuwa pale relegation. So they are on 21 points, position 14. That's a good one. If Tottenham wins, wataruka Newcastle, so they'll be in position what? Position 4. So it's a good motivation for them. But you look at this game, Tottenham versus Leicester ni game inakuwa na mabao sana. The last 6 games imekuwa na 23 goals amongst them, whereby both teams are scoring over in a year, and Tottenham have won their last head-to-head, whereby like both teams have scored. They have been an over 3.5, and Tottenham has won the game. So our prediction is the best of best in Tottenham will win that game, and there will be a GG and an over 2.5. Probably maybe a scoring of 3-1 or 3-2. Your game kona mabao vibaya sana, but Tottenham will have an edge over Leicester. The other thing to note is that Hurricane. If you have someone who risks to bet on goal scorers, Hurricane will score. This guy has scored more goals against Leicester than he has scored against any other team. So Hurricane to score. That one is also. And remember also, another point to note is that James Maddison has scored in the last 2 games against Tottenham. So kama unataka kuweka goal scorers, weka Harry Kane na weka James Maddison. That one is a sure bet.
Yes. Third game here, Monaco versus PSG. PSG are currently on the top of the table with 54 points, and Monaco are number 4. And of course, game alone, naona Messi na Mbappe hawatakuwa.
Very tricky for PSG. Hawana Messi, hawana Mbappe. And remember in the midweek they lost in the Copa de France against Marseille, so they are out of that cup. On Tuesday, they are playing against Bayern in the round of 16 of UEFA Champions League. So this is also another something they are looking into. So their mind is not so much in this game. So looking at that, and they will look at Monaco. By they are 4th currently with 44 points. But if they win, they will leapfrog Marseille and Lens, and they'll be in position 2. So we look at that game, and with the absence of Messi and Mbappe, and their fixture against Bayern coming ahead, we are giving Monaco a straight win and over 2.5. And you look at that game, when they are playing at the Monaco Stadium, they have not been a draw since 2015. So there must be a winner, either PSG or Monaco. And looking at their last head-to-heads, some of the last forms, it is a direct win for Monaco. That is what we are giving, like Monaco win.
Yes. Our 4th game here, Hoffenheim versus Leverkusen. It's a Bundesliga game. Na naona Leverkusen wako number 10 kwa table.
Yeah.
Yes, and Hoffenheim are in 14th
place.
Yeah.
So you look at them, as you have said, Leverkusen are position 10 with 24 points. Hoffenheim wako 14 and 19 points. So Hoffenheim wamekuwa on a winless run. In the last 9 games hawajashinda game yote. Actually wamedraw 2 games and they have lost 7 games. So they're on a very poor run. We look at the other side, that is Bayer Leverkusen. They are on form. Probably just lost the last 2 games, but before that they had won 3 games in a row. So you see, Hoffenheim wako na new coach ambaye ni anaitwa Matarazzo, and the guy was managing Stuttgart actually, whereby he was sacked even before he had won even a single game, because at Stuttgart alikuwa amedraw 5 games na lose 4. So coming in as the new head coach and being the first game, it will be very tricky for them to manage even a point against Leverkusen. So to our viewers, it's a straight win for Bayer Leverkusen, and probably both teams will score, and an over 2.5 will be there. So it's Bayer Leverkusen win over 2.5 and a GG. Yeah.
And of course your game inachezwa 5:30. So you check out, muangalie muone vile itaendelea. And on to our 5th game, tuko na Leipzig versus Union Berlin. And I can see Leipzig by there missing Olmo and Nkunku through injury.
Yeah, Olmo has been creating goals. Nkunku has been the one firing in the goals. So he is the leading scorer. But they have Timo Werner at least, who is also doing well, currently a confirm. But you look at Leipzig versus Union Berlin, this is a very tricky game. Very tricky. Tricky in this aspect. Leipzig are position 4 with 36 points. If they win, they'll go to 39 points and overtake Union Berlin, who are in position 2. So Union Berlin now wakishinda wanaenda first position, wanaruka Bayern Munich. So when you look at both teams, out of the last 6 games, Leipzig has won 4 games and drew 2. Union Berlin, on the other hand, have won all their 6 matches heading to this fixture. So you see, it's a very tricky game. But another key factor is that Leipzig will be missing their captain, Willy Orban, and it will be a challenge for them, bearing in mind that he has been very instrumental. But you look at the last 5 games head-to-head, there have been a scoreline of 2-1. So both teams have been scoring, and an over 2.5 has been a sure bet. But out of those 5 last head-to-head, Union Berlin has won 4 of them, and Leipzig has won just 1. So to our viewers, an X2 is a good bet. X2, Union Berlin or draw, and over 2.5 and a GG. That one will be good.
Good. Game ya sita ya leo Saturday, we have Lazio versus Atalanta.
Lazio versus Atalanta, another tricky game, very tricky. Tricky in this aspect. Lazio wako position 5, 39 points. If they win, it takes them to 3rd. Atalanta on the other side wako position 6, 38 points. Pia wakishinda wanaenda 3rd. So your game is very crucial. Difference yao ni point moja, but whoever wins will go through to position 3 before the other teams play. The likes of Roma and all and the rest. So you look at the current form and you see Lazio have been on a good form. Actually, they have lost just once in the last 6 games, drawing 2 and winning 3 games in a row. You look at Atalanta, they come into this match having lost their last 2 games. They lost against Sassuolo. They also lost the other game that was there. Before that, they had won 3 games and 3-1. So it's a very tricky game. However, I look at Lazio. They have a game in the midweek in the Europa Conference League. So they are one eye is into that game because everyone is looking at least to have a silverware this season, and they are looking at the Conference League wanaweza chukua hiyo kikombe. So when you look at the head-to-head personal, Atalanta are unbeaten in the last 5 games against Lazio at home. So when Lazio are at home, kupiga Atalanta inakuwa very tricky. So our prediction as the best of bets ni ati 2 in Atalanta will win. Yeah.
Thank you. The 7th game tuko nayo ni Sevilla versus Mallorca. Yeah.
Sevilla versus Mallorca. Sevilla are doing so badly, like they are currently position 17, which is unfamiliar to them. But hii ni team imebeba Europa mara 3 in a row. These are team that has been playing Champions League football and all that. But you look at them currently, they are doing so bad because they are currently on 21 points. Mallorca on the other side are 10th with 28 points, and they are looking at a possibility of playing in Europe. So looking at their last forms, you see that Sevilla has just has just managed 3 wins in the last 6, losing the other 3 games. Mallorca come into this game having beaten Real Madrid. It became the 3rd team this season to beat Real Madrid. So they come with a lot of confidence into this game. However, this game, basing the head-to-head on their previous games, we are predicting a draw. So to our viewers, this is a draw. Na mostly ni draw yenye itakuwa na GG, probably a scoreline of 1-1. Yeah.
The 8th game, it's Cardiff versus Middlesbrough.
Yeah, Cardiff versus Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough are doing so well under Michael Carrick, the former Manchester United player. Since he came into this to this team when they were position 21. Currently they sit in 3rd, having won 10 of the last 14 games. So waliingia na vibaya sana na fujo. So sijui mbona hata Mani walimfukuza, but he's a good coach and he has uplifted really Middlesbrough. Looking into this game, Cardiff have not won in their last 6 games, so they are winless, having lost 5 and 3 just one game. Middlesbrough on the other side, they come into this game having won 5 of their last 6 games. They have only 1 loss. So, and then you look at Cardiff having been winless. Cardiff wajashinda game yote in the last 13 games. And then they wanapata na team yenye imeshinda 10 of the last 14 games. So Middlesbrough iko form mbaya, and looking at them, they want to keep a pressure on Burnley, probably wanakimbizana na Burnley na Sheffield, who are number 1 and 2 respectively. So to our viewers, I want to make you the boss, and Middlesbrough is the way to go. Middlesbrough win.
Yes. Next game we have Peterborough versus Bolton.
Peterborough versus Bolton. Yeah. Tricky one. England League 1. You look at both teams. Peterborough wako position 7 na 44 points. Bolton position 5 with 53 points. If Bolton wins, take them to position 3. So you look at their last forms and you see that Peterborough has won 5 of their last 6 games. So is Bolton. Pia wameshinda 5 of their last 6 games. So the previous head-to-head has seen no GG in the last 6 head-to-head. So hakujakuwa na mabao hiyo game. And you look at, they have not been a draw either in the last 7 games. So one team must win and the other team will not score. So that is what has been happening in the last 6-7 games. So you look at in this game, and our prediction at the best of best near team. It's a very tricky one, but Bolton will win this game. But the most sure bet you can place is under 2.5. The maximum goals in that game is 1 or 2. So under 2.5 is a very good bet. But at the end of the day, I think Bolton will edge out Peterborough. Because actually in the last head-to-head, when Peterborough is at home, Bolton has won 2 games. Peterborough has managed 1 win in the last 3 previous meetings here at Peterborough. So Bolton win.
Yes, thank you. Nini kwa game ya mwisho leo, we have that of Bristol City versus Norwich.
Pia hiyo ni game ya championship, very tricky but a good game to place on. I remember Bristol are position 18 with 36 points. Norwich on the other hand wako position 10 at 42 points. So if they win, actually they'll wataruka mpaka position 5, that is Norwich. So they are motivated to win. Remember they are on a very good form. They lost the last game against Burnley, but remember Burnley are the league leaders. So they lost 3-0 to Burnley. However, I think this is a game whereby they can redeem themselves because they are playing against a team that hasn't beaten them in the last 11 games. So Bristol has not won against Norwich in their last meeting head-to-head. Remember, they have just managed 2 draws, so Norwich has gone all the way to win 9 games. So you look at this game and their previous form, Bristol is a good team because it scores also. Though it ends up losing, but wanafunga mabao. So it's a GG, an over 2.5 and a Norwich win.
Yes, bosses tumefika mwisho wa games za leo zenye zinachezwa leo Saturday. So we'll take a break kadogo tu and then we'll be back with games za kesho Sunday, that is the 12th of February 2023. But until then, break tu kadogo and then we'll be back.
Break tu kidogo apatiwe maua, then tunarudi.
Welcome back, bosses. Tumetoka ka break kidogo and tunaingia sa games za Sunday, that is tomorrow the 12th of February. And before tuingie games, any words za kusema after break?
Mimi nauliza tu maua yangu peleka haraka hivyo shapi.
Nilikwambia kuna target yako kwa audience anatumanga pesa after tumeboyesha games, alafu sasa akiona kuna place anaweza choma bets na mimi kidogo hiyo pesa ya Valentine's tutapata kula skuma.
Kuna bosa anajituma mahali,
Sisi kula skuma Valentine's.
Sawa tumecheza chini.
Mama wamefika. We appreciate. So games the Sunday kesho, ya kwanza tuko na Leeds versus Man United. And I can see Man U and Leeds meet for the second time in 4 days, following their 2-2 draw at Old Trafford.
Yeah, they met 3 days ago, whereby it was a settlement of 2-2, both teams drew. And you look at that game, heading into this game, Man U currently look position 3 na 43 points. So wakishinda wataruka Man City, that is take them to 46 points. So you look at Leeds, position 16 with 19 points. Wako pale chini relegation, they are battling relegation. So wanajituma sana, having in mind that they may be relegated. So having look at both teams, the way they play, the last head-to-heads, actually the last 4 games, have seen on over 3.5 and both teams scoring. So these are teams that score very regularly when they meet. So you look at the other key factor to note is that Man United have a game against Barcelona in the midweek. This coming week, that is on 16th, and it's a very tricky game for them. So having looking at the cards and probably the midfield injuries they have, the likes of Eriksen, it's a very tricky game for them. So it's not gonna be easy for Man United. So we are predicting an 1x, that is a draw or Leeds will win, and over 2.5, and both teams to score. It's also a good score. I remember another key factor to note is that Man United have not won away to Leeds for 2 consecutive games in a row. So that tells you last time they did that was in 1976. So it's a very tricky game for them. So it is hard, though inajua inauma wengi, but from our own analysis, I take it to the bank. Man United will not win that game. So it's either a draw or a Leeds win.
Anytime una place against Man U na feeling it nikwambie uongo.
Lazima tusikie ukweli. Lakini naomba, lakini I also lost last weekend. Arsenal tulipigwa, so tunaelewa hii mambo. It's still part of life.
Inauma lakini
we do what we want. Tukiamua kushinda tunashinda.
Game ya pili ni Toulouse versus Rennes. And you can see the game ni ya kesho at 3 pale Stadium Municipal. And Rennes are currently at number 5 and Toulouse are currently at position 12. Yes, and the match is part of Ligue 1.
Yeah, and you see Toulouse at 29 points, Rennes pale wako 40 points. They are trying to chase the Champions League spot, that is either 1, 2, 3 or 4. So they are currently doing well. They have had they lost the last game actually, but they have had a good run before that. So One key factor to note is that the last I read 11 games, you see, Renier has just lost once against Toulouse in the last 11 games, going on to win 7 and drawing 3. So to our viewers, we are predicting an X2 and over 2.5. So it's a draw or Renier. Yeah.
The third game, Hertha versus Mönchengladbach.
Yeah, there is that Hertha versus Mönchengladbach. Hiyo ni German Bundesliga. You look at Hertha, they are currently position 17. Wako pale relegation zone, wako na points 14 peke yake. So you look at Borussia Mönchengladbach on the other hand, position 9 with 26 points. So Hertha has lost all games after the World Cup. Like hawajashinda game yote since the league resumed. In the other hand, Mönchengladbach have drawn, have won, also lost 2 games. So we are predicting a straight Mönchengladbach win. So Mönchengladbach will win. So it's a 2-win and under 2.5. Like that game will not have so many goals. It's either 1 or 2 goals. So under 2.5 and Borussia Mönchengladbach win.
Game Niane.
Niane.
Yeah, we have that of Cologne versus Frankfurt.
Yeah, we have Cologne versus Frankfurt, also a German Bundesliga game. Cologne position 11 with 23 points, Frankfurt position 5 with 35 points. So it's a very good game actually. It's a mid-table clash. Remember this, kama kuna kitu kingine kufanyika kwa hii fixture ni draws have been so many. So you look at the last 6 head-to-head napata under 2.5 has been the scoreline like 1 or it's a 1-0 or 1-1 scoreline. So to our viewers, we are predicting a next that is a draw. The game is a draw, either a 0-0 or a 1-1. Yeah. So eka X na weke under 2.5. Yeah.
Okay, game ingine ni Lens versus Lens.
Yeah.
And I can see Lens are currently at number 9 and Lens number 3. And Lens played against Lens in one match this season. Yeah. And
you see, looking at that game, it's a very tough game because look at Lens position 3 with 46 points. Actually, they are tied with position 2 Marseille. The only difference is goal difference. That is what makes them to be at position 3. But heading into this match, Lyon have won 4 of their last 5 games, having just drawn 1. Lens, on the other hand, have drawn 2, have lost 1, and have won 2. So they have not been in a very good form. So it's a very crucial game. Very crucial because against all odds, we are rooting for Lyon to win or a draw. So it's a 1x, or the other good prediction is a GG. Both teams will score. So it is 1x, Lyon win or draw. Probably mostly a scoreline of 1-1. Yeah.
Yes, game next near Juventus versus Fiorentina. Who Fiorentina are currently at position 13 and Juventus are currently at position 10.
Looking at that game, Juventus, since we were deducted points, they have been trying so hard at least to lift themselves from that position. This is a team that always fights for the title, that is for Serie A, but currently they are position 10 with just 26 points. So however, they head into this match having won the last 2 games with a clean sheet, by the way. So they are a team that does not concede so many goals. Looking on the other side, Fiorentina have not been doing so well. Actually, they have just won 1 of their last 5 matches. So that tells you our prediction as the best of bets. It's Juventus win and under 2.5. So 1-0 or 2-0 Juventus. Yeah, that is how it will go.
Yes, another game, Celta Vigo versus Atletico Madrid.
So looking at Atletico versus Celta Vigo, Atletico is a very good team but very unpredictable. Kuna expect watashinda ndio siku watapiga draws. Kuna expect watapigwa ndio siku wanashinda. So it's a good team by the way. Currently they sit position 4 with 35 points. They're not doing so bad in the league. Celta Vigo on the other hand, they are just position 12 with 23 points. However, they won at the last game in a 7-goal thriller against Real Betis away. So it's a very good motivation for them. You look at Atletico hasn't lost in the last 8 games against Celta Vigo. So it tells you like Atletico has always had an upper hand against Celta Vigo. So with that in mind, but with the good form of Celta Vigo, we are predicting an X2. Probably it will be a draw or a win for Atletico. However, also to our viewers, if you want to be the boss, work at GG, okay, both teams will score. And I'm very sure GG cannot poor, it's a 2. So GG or an X2. Yeah.
Game ya it's a Spain game, Villarreal versus Barcelona.
So Villarreal versus Barcelona. Villarreal are not doing so well because they are position 6 with 31 points. They have lost their last 2 games. Barcelona head into this game having won all the games that they have played after World Cup. Actually, they have won in the last 6 games wameshinda in all competitions. So this team has been so on form, like imekuwa form vibaya sana. And they sit top of the log. So they want to keep up the pace. I thought they have a game against Manchester United on Thursday, but I don't think that will drift them or maybe make them lose this game. So it's a 2-win. That's a straight win for Barcelona. Barcelona will win that game. Yeah.
A named game. It's also it's a Greece game. Aris versus
Panathinaikos.
Yeah.
I know that is a very tricky one for you. But it's Aris versus Panathinaikos. And remember, Panathinaikos are currently position 1 in the league.
Yeah.
So they're leading that log with 48 points. Aris on the other hand are position 6 with 31 points. Aris has not just won 1 game in the last 6 games. Panathinaikos on the other side have won all the games in the last 6 matches they have played. They have won all of them. So you look at to obvious, they have not won all the games actually. They have lost. They have not been on a very good form also because they have won the last game. But before that, they have also lost and drew some of games appear. So we look at this game and it is we are predicting a 2-win, Panathinaikos win, but also under 2.5. Greece na Cyprus huko hakunaga mabao mingi, so it's 1-0, 2-0 scoreline. Hakuna zaidi hapo. GG very tricky, so Panathinaikos win and under 2.5. Yeah.
And game ya mwisho ya kesho yenye tunaanalyze ni ya Sporting Lisbon versus Porto.
Yeah, that is the Portuguese league, and remember this is a very tough game. These are teams that are doing so well huko. Number 4 versus number 2. So Sporting Lisbon are position 4 with 38 points. Look at Porto, they are position 2 with 45 points. So Porto have been doing so well because Porto have won the last 5 matches. Sporting Lisbon on the other side, they have just lost 1 of the last 5 matches, having won 4 of them. So both teams ziko form na ziko sawa. However, you look at their last head-to-head consecutive games they have played against each other. The last 4, Porto has won all of them. So it tells you that Porto always have an upper hand against Sporting Lisbon. So going into this match, we are predicting for our viewers, it's a 2-win, Porto win, and also a GG that game. So Porto win and a GG. Yeah.
So, there's the I've come to the end of the 10 games that we're analyzing for Sunday, that is kesho. And I believe by now at least kuna kakitu unaona unaweza ekelea. They've given you the odds tumekusaidia kuanalyze. So, sikuma tukuli 14 hii roho tumekataa. At least make sure umekelea. I believe by now tumekuwa trustworthy. So of course, please remember usikule solo. Remember to tell our friends, to tell their friends that Best of Bets KE is the best place to be and where we make you a boss. So before we wind up the show, kuna any final words?
Final word is shout out to all of us, to all of those who have been following us, those who have been with us. Remember, thank you so much. Continue sharing, subscribing to our channel, and remember, kazi yetu inaonekana kwa sababu if you go back to our videos, actually the last Sunday's game we won 9 out of 10 predictions. Remember, I gave even a correct score of Pau. Game ya Pau tulisema ni draw, tukasema ni 0-0, tukasema ni under. That was the scoreline, imagine. Kasema game ya Tote, watu kusema City Pep Guardiola atapiga watu vibaya sana, especially because Arsenal had lost. But we predicted for you it is a Tottenham win or a draw and under 2.5. Unbelievable. It went the same way. Game ya gang, game ya actually the 9 out of 10 predictions were true. So follow us, subscribe to us. This is the best place to be. Remember, we give you the insight to make you a boss because your money counts. So welcome to the best of best. This is a place to be. Share, follow, mjibambe. Pesa ya Valentine iko kwa games za leo na za kesho. Mazee, bro, usikose pesa ya kupeleka hiyo game out. Chukua hata kaso itakupatia dhao. Chukua game 2 ama 3. This is a place to be.
Yes. So vile tu amesema Valentine's hatukule skuma bana. Make sure you also subscribe, tell your friends, preach the gospel that Best of Bets is the best place to be. But until next Saturday, but of course kumbuka every week tuko na midweek updates. On Tuesdays ni Ryan atakuwa na, then on Thursday, every Thursday I'll be there to give you the updates for the midweek games and whatever will be happening in the football arena throughout the week. But until then, I'll see you again on Saturday after Valentine's to pay feedback ya vile Valentine's kulenda. Within the week we'll communicate. You give us feedback. Of course, pia sisi peana tuna reply, but we also would like to say we thank you also for the for viewing, for sharing, for being there for us. And but until then, until next Saturday or Thursday when I meet you, Nikios.